So you were a part of the group, the Beatnuts, right? How did you end up meeting Juju and Psycho Les?
All right, so Juju I've known for a long time. Uh, Not as like a close friend or anything, but I knew him. We'd speak every once in a while. So, um,
And you're older than both of them, right?
yeah, what's funny? Yeah, you say that, and it's like, going back to when I would go see Jelly Bean at the Funhouse, I was like, man, he was way younger. I mean, I was young. I was like, dang, so he must have been going there, man, when probably at, I'd say like 13 years old or something, because I remember seeing him there. But anyway, so I had a label called Crazy Noise, and so we're going back to 1991, right? Um, I did a recording with the original Dr. Butcher, right? May he rest in peace. Camille, his name was Camille, and he was the first butcher. He was the one that worked on Men at Work with Marley Marl, and he used to throw ideas at Marley when he was recording with G-Rap. So I put out a record called, it was the group called Smooth Movement, and the record was called The Adventure. And this is when I first got a little studio, like a real studio, and I put it in the basement. Um, and I used to see Juju around, tell him, "Hey, come, I got some equipment. We could do something in my house." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." He was always coming, never showed up. And then finally, one day he hears the record, right? Because prior to that, I took it to Stretch and Bobito. That's how I met them, right? So I took it to Stretch. I mean, Bobito answered the door over there at Columbia at the radio station. They had a packed house, and I guess it was the members of Wu Tang, but they had a lot of people at at the radio station. So this first time I meet Bob, and Bob says, "Hey, I can't let you in. I have a packed house." So I was like, "Okay, no problem." I said, "I just want to drop off this record. I have people waiting for me in my car anyway." So once I get back in the car, I remember they were playing Tribe Called Quest. I made a U-turn, and next thing you know, they threw on the record. He gives me a shout out. He called, the next day we speak. He's like, "Thank you for dropping this by blah, blah, blah." So now Kid Capri is playing it when he would have his little mix show in the late afternoons, early evening, right on BLS. And Flex started playing it. Juju heard it. He didn't know who it was, and he thought I was just putting out house records, right? So the guy at the record store on Junction in Corona, he's like, "Oh, I think I know what record you're talking about." As he's describing it, and he goes, "No, I know that label. I know that label. Put it away. Put it away." He goes, "That's house music." He goes, "No, this is not house." He says, "I know that label. Stop. I know the guy." And he's like, "But it's not house." He says, "All right, go ahead, play it." And he played. He was like, "Oh my God, that's the record." So he buys two of them. He comes over. He says, "Yo, why you made me buy these records? I brought two of these records. I brought doubles." I said, "I've been telling you to come forever. You could have got them for free." So right from there, that's when we connected. And then I met Les, and then I met Fashion.
So let me make a correction to what I said earlier. You've really been in this game for like 40 years, if not more than that, right?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So at what point do you join the group then?
So it wasn't long after that, that initial connection on that. Yeah. So, man, maybe it was before their record, like they were trying to get a record deal with Relativity. Chris Lighty. And what happened was they wanted we did a couple of demos. And, I told him, hey, do you need the demos? And he was like, no, forget it. They gave us the deal regardless. And so as they were signing, Chi Ali's dad, Stan, was the manager. So he told Stan, Juju told Stan, he says, hey, I want him to be part of the group, part of the production. So that's how that came about. Juju didn't even have a drum machine at the time. And I was wanting to say,
you're credited as teaching him how to use the MPC, right?
Yeah, so I got him to buy he got his advancement, and I was like, yo, you're going to buy a machine, right? And he's like, yeah. He goes, you think I said, yeah. He didn't think, he was like, you know what, let's just do it. And he ended up buying a machine, and I showed him how to use it. And, even just from hanging out in the studio, a lot of the things were done in the beginning at the studio. So even if he had an idea with a record, it'd be done right in the studio.
Because I interviewed Psycho Les, and he said that you guys were hired basically to produce Chi Ali's first album, right? And a lot of those songs were actual demos that the Beatnuts had did, like that you guys wrote and everything. Man, wrote a clip.
And this is around the time where we're Jungle Brothers, We're Jungle Brothers in studio. So he introduces us to Chris Lighty, he was everybody's manager at that time.
Violator.
Yeah, Violator. And Africa's like, yo, I got this project to do this album for Chi Ali, this kid called Chi Ali. He's from the Bronx. But my hands are full. I can't do this shit. So I'm gonna pass that project to the Beatnuts. He told Chris Lighty. So then Beatnuts at that time was doing demos. With fashion and all that shit. So we went to the studio with Chi Ali, and so all those Beatnuts demos turned out to be new Chi Ali songs. Now we turned those songs into Chi Ali. So
you guys ghost wrote it too, then?
Yeah. Because we used, so when you hear Chi Ali's album, that all those songs was really Beatnuts demos.
Right. So I came in right after the Chi Ali album.
Got you. Okay.
Right after that's when I came in. Not the remixes, not like a Lemonade remix, because I was already there. But as far as the album, yeah, I wasn't part of that.